Hello everyone, welcome to the 8th lecture of the video lecture series on basic computer programming hosted by Coding Chip. Myself Chetan Kamani, lecturer in computer department at Government Polytechnic, Jamnagar. So in the previous lecture, I have drawn flowcharts of few examples using selection control structure of the algorithm. Selection control structure of the flowchart. In this video lecture, I will draw flowchart for the given problems using looping control structure of the algorithm. So by attending this session you will be able to draw flowchart of basic problem, right? You will be able to draw flowchart using looping control structure, and I will use this online tool app.diagrams.net to draw flowchart. If you have an algorithm for the problem, it becomes very easy to draw flowchart of that problem. I told you this when I explained the algorithm. So now let's start with the first problem. What is that problem? To draw a flowchart. Draw a flowchart to calculate the sum of first n decimal number. Okay. So as I told you, if you have an algorithm for this problem, then it would be very easy to draw. Then it is very easy to draw a flowchart. Let me open the algorithm for this problem. You can see this is the algorithm. There is no need to show input and output separately to draw flowchart. So as I explained, various symbols I will use to draw the flowchart. For this start and for this stop, I will use terminator symbol. For read and for printing, I will use input or output symbol. Then for this is a data transfer process or assignment kind of things. This is calculation, this is also calculation, so I will use process symbol to write this, and for this I will use diamond symbol, or either I can say decision symbol, to show this condition. And based on the condition, control will transfer to the step number 4 or control will transfer to step number 7. If this condition becomes true, if it is true, then control will transfer to step number 4, otherwise control will transfer to step number 7. So let me open diagrams.net and let's find the category to the flowchart, symbol category to draw the flowchart, right? Very first symbol is our terminator symbol, that is our start symbol. Okay, then our next symbol is our input, so we have to provide how many numbers you want to add. Read number n. I will maximize this after drawing the complete flowchart. Then we have some process we have to set. We have to set some value. So we have to use some variable I is equal to 0, then sum is equal to 0. I will initialize I variable and sum variable by 0. Then we have another process, addition kind of things. Sum is equal to sum plus I. Then we have another process for the increment of I. I is equal to I plus 1. Then we have to check the condition, right? I forget to connect all this symbol. Then we have to put one condition to verify whether I is less than n or not. Where is the decision symbol? Okay, this is short symbol. Where is decision? Yeah, this is I is less than n. If I is less than n, if this is true, then we have to again execute this step number 4, right? Okay, there is it is taking too much time. Let me extract this. Right, when if this condition becomes true, and if this condition becomes false, then I have to print what? I have to print what? Addition, which is stored in variable sum. Print sum. For the next flowchart, I will use capital letter. Okay, when if this condition becomes false, then our final symbol is terminator symbol, that is stop. Okay, you can see this is the flowchart for the problem. Okay, let me maximize the capacity of text. Let me increase the size of text. Now you can see first symbol is start. We have to take the number, how many numbers we want to add. Then we have to take two variables, I and sum, and we have to initialize this by 0. Then I have to increment sum is equal to sum by, I have to increment the variable sum by I. Then we have to increment I by 1. Then we have to check condition. If I is less than n, then we have to repeat this step. If I is not less than n, then we have to print the sum and stop. So this is our flowchart for the problem. If you have any doubts regarding this flowchart, then you can if you have any doubts or if you have any suggestion for the solution of this problem in the form of flowchart, then you can write in the comment box below. Okay, so let's move further toward the next problem. So what is our next problem? So what is our next problem? To draw flowchart, let me erase this. Our next problem is to draw flowchart to calculate the sum of first n odd numbers. Let me go open algorithm for this problem. Okay, this is the algorithm. How many different symbols you have to use to draw this flowchart? For start and stop, as I explained, terminator symbol. Then for reading and printing kind of things, I will use input as well as output symbol. For this, step 3, step 4, step 5 and step 6, I will use process symbol. And for step 7, there is one condition. So to show this condition, I will use decision symbol, right? And if this condition is true, then I will have to repeat this all the steps from step number 4 to 7. Otherwise, I will go to step number 8. So let me draw the flowchart for the same. Okay, this is the same as the previous one. There is slight change. So what is that change? Let's just clarify. So let's see. Okay, read n. There is one addition. Count is equal to 0, which is same. Sum is equal to sum plus I. Instead of I is equal to I plus 1, in this case I will have to write what? I is equal to I plus 2. Then we have to add one more step. Count is equal to count plus 1, and we have to verify it with it count, right? So let me go to the same flowchart. Read number n, then the sum. There is one more variable we have to take. So what is that variable? Count. We have to initialize count by 0. Then sum is equal to sum plus I. Then I will have to add one more step here. Okay, don't worry, let me. Okay, one step here. What is that? Count is equal to count plus 1, which is also a process. Count is equal to count plus 1. Then instead of I have to verify. I have to use this condition with variable count. And I have to connect this with this and this, print sum. Okay, so very first symbol is start. Then we have to take input number from the user. Then we have to initialize 3 variable I, sum and count by 0. Then we have to add sum is equal to sum plus 1. We have to add the value of sum with I. Then we have to increment I plus 1. Instead of I plus 1, I have to write I. We have to increment I by 2, right? Then count is equal to count plus 1 if count is less than n. If it is true, then we have to repeat the step from sum to this count. If it is false, then we have to print sum. Okay, so this is the flowchart. I have not drawn this flowchart again because there is 1 or 2 steps just I have to add, and the previous flowchart becomes the solution for the current problem, right? That's why I have not drawn flowchart from the scratch. I have just added few steps, few symbols in this flowchart. Okay, so if you have any doubt regarding the solution, or if you have any suggestion regarding this solution, then you can write in the comment box below. Let's move further toward the next problem. So what is our next problem? Our next problem is draw flowchart to check whether the given number is prime or not. Okay, already I have explained algorithm for this problem in the looping control structure part of the algorithms lecture. Okay, so let me open algorithm for the same problem. I will use this algorithm for this step number 1 and step number 10. I will use terminator symbol for this 2. For this read step number 8 and step number 9, I will use input output symbol. For this step number 3 and step number 7, I will use process symbol. And for step number 4, 5 and 6, I will use decision symbol. Right, I have already explained this algorithm in the 4th lecture of this unit 1. If you have any doubt regarding this algorithm, or if you don't know about this algorithm, then you can watch it first, then try to draw flowchart after that, right? So let me open. Yeah, let me go to new file. So this flowchart is little bit big compared to the previous two. Okay, instead of general I have to go to the flowchart section. Very first symbol is start. Okay, start. Then we have to take input, that is number, from the user. Read n. Then we have to use decision symbol whether the value of n is equal to 2 or not. So where is yes. I. Okay. Okay, instead of n I will use I. Read I equal to 2 if, okay, wait, instead of I we will use n. Okay, then read n. We have to verify whether the value of n equal to 2, n equal to 2. Then if it is equal to 2, then n is definitely a prime number. If it is not equal to true, then okay, I will add one more step here in between this, which is not there in the algorithm. I think that is not there in the algorithm. Let me see. Okay, I forget to write step number 3. I have to initialize I by 2. There is one more step, process. We have to initialize I is equal to 2. Okay, if n is equal to 2, if it is true, then n is definitely a prime number. If it is not true, then we have to further check another condition. Square root of n is less than I. If it is true, then n is definitely a, if it is true, then n is definitely a prime number. If it is not true, then we have to check another condition. N modulo I equals 0. N modulo I equals 0. If it is true, then accordingly we will execute some step. If it is not true, then we have to do one process. We have to increment the value of I by 1. Where is process symbol? Yeah, I is equal to I plus 1. Again we have to start execution from step this. Okay, then let me write 2 in input output symbol for prime and not prime number. N is what? N is not prime number. Don't worry, I will explain this. And I have to use another symbol to express N is, to show N is prime number. Okay, let me explain this again. First symbol is start terminator symbol, then we have to take value from the user, then we have to initialize I variable by 2. Then we have to check condition if n is equal to 2, if the value of n is 2, if it is true, then this number is definitely a prime number. If it is true, right? If it is not true, if it is false, then we have to check whether, sorry, not from here. Sorry. It is true. If it is false, then we have to check we have to find square root of n when we have to compare it with I. If it is less than I, then this number is definitely a prime number if it is true. If it is false, then we have to find the remainder dividing n by I. If it is 0, then n is not prime number. If it is true, then n is not prime number. If it is false, then we have to increment I by 1, and we have to go to step, we have to repeat this step, right? Then our algorithm will stop here. I have to connect this symbol with this. This one. So this is our algorithm to find the prime number, whether the number is prime or not. Let me explain it again in quickly. We have to take value from the user, we have to initialize I by 2. If the value, whatever value user have entered, then if it is equal to 2, then the number is definitely a prime. If it is false, then we have to find square root of n. If it is less than I, then it is definitely a prime number. If it is false, then we have to find modulo n modulo I. If it is equal to 0, modulo means to find the remainder, right? If n is divided by I and remainder is equal to 0, then n is definitely n is not a prime number. Otherwise, we have to increment I by 1 and we have to repeat the step, this, right? So this is our algorithm to find whether the given number is prime or not. If you have any doubts regarding this, then you can write in the comment section below. Let's move further toward the next problem. So what is our next problem? Draw flowchart to find the factorial of the given number. Okay, let me open an algorithm for this. This is our algorithm. I will use terminator symbol for step number 1 and step number 9. For step number 2 and for step number 8, I will use input output symbol. For step number 3, for step number 5, for step number 6, I will use process symbol, and for step number 4 and step number 7, I will use decision making symbol. If the condition of step number 4 becomes true, then I will go to step number 8. If the condition is step number 7, if it is true, then I will go to step number 5. Okay, so let me draw a flow chart for this problem. Okay, this is very easy. Let me open flowchart category of symbol. Yeah, so where is terminator symbol? Yes, start. Then we have to take input from the user, so read and okay, read and then one process, we have to initialize one variable fact by 1. Fact is equal to 1. Let me connect this with this symbol. Then we have to check condition. If the value of I if the value of n not I, if n is equal to 0 or n is equal to 1, n is equal to 0 or n is equal to 1. If this is true, then factorial of the number is 1. If it is false, then we have to do one process. If it is false, then we have to do one process. So what is that process? Fact is equal to fact into n. Then again we have to do one process. After this step, n is equal to n minus 1. If it is false, then we have to check the value of n. N is still greater than 0. Then we have to if n is greater than 0, then we have to repeat this step. Let me delete this. Okay, if it is true, if it is false, then we have to print the value of factorial, which is stored in variable fact. Print fact. True. Then after this we have to end this flowchart by using this terminator symbol. Stop. So this is our algorithm to find the factorial of the given number. We have to take value from the user, then we have to initialize fact variable by 1. If whatever value user has entered, if it is equal to 0 and is equal to 1, if it is true, then the value of factor is equal to 1. If it is false, then we have to do this process. Fact is equal to fact into n. then n is equal to n minus 1. Then again we have to check the value of n. If it is n is greater than 0, if it is true, then again we have to repeat this step. Fact is equal to fact into n is equal to n minus 1. If it is false, then we have to print the value of factorial. Then we are going, and our last step is terminator symbol, that is stop. So if you have any doubts or if you have any solution regarding this problem, then you can write in the comment section. Let's move further toward our last problem. What is that? Draw flowchart to print the Fibonacci series up to n term. Let me open the algorithm. So this is our algorithm. I will use terminator for step 1 and step 11. I will use input output symbol for step 2 as well as step 4 as well as step 5. Then I will use process symbol for this step 3, step 7, step 8, step 9 and step 10. Okay, and I will use only one decision making symbol for step number 6. If this condition becomes true, then I will directly go to step number 11, otherwise I will execute step number 7. So let me draw the flowchart for this problem. File, new, create. Very first symbol. Okay, where is the flowchart category? Yeah, start. Very first symbol is start. Then we have to take input from the user, read n, how many number of terms user wants to print. Okay, then we have to do some process. We have to initialize some variables. I is equal to 0, j equal to 1, then term is equal to 2, then temp is equal to 0. Then we have to print the value of I will use input output symbol. Print I. Again I will print the value of j here. Print j. Then I will check one condition. If temp is greater than n, if this condition becomes false, then I will do some process. I will store the value of j into I, then I will store the value of j. I will store the value of temporary into temp variable into j. Then I will increment temp, not temp, term. I will increment term by 1. Term is equal to term plus 1. If it is false, then I will again do execute steps from this print j. If this condition becomes false, then I will stop here. Okay, stop. Let me connect this. If it is true, let me explain this algorithm. I will start terminator symbol. I will take how many number of terms user wants to print as an n, then I will initialize some variables. I is equal to 0, j is equal to 1, temp is equal to 2, so term is equal to 2, temp is equal to 0. Then I will print the value of I, then I will print the value of j, then I will again check if the value of temp is greater than n. If it is false, then I will do this process. I will store the value of j into I, then I will store the value of temp into j, then I will increment the value of term by 1, then again I will execute steps from this print j. If then again I will check this temp, if temp is greater than n. If it is true, then I will stop here. So if you have any doubts regarding the solution for this problem, then you can write in the comment box below. So I think I have solved these 5 problems using looping control structure. So thank you for watching this lecture. If you have any doubts or suggestion, then write in the comment section below. And yeah, don't forget to like, share and subscribe this channel, and please hit the bell icon to get the instant notification for the new video. So thank you very much. Thank you.